If you're caught up with the Boruto manga, then you would know what everyone's talking about right now. And I'm guessing they're going to continue to talk about it for the next 2 months because of the hiatus. So I guess it's time for me to talk about it because it is an exciting thing to see after such a long time. Hey, before we get into the video though, I deeply appreciate everyone showing the videos love. We've been doing really good as of late. So again, if I could ask you all to leave a quick like on the video and also hype the video up and maybe subscribe, that would be great. But anyway, now we look at the most recent chapter and it appears that Koji has gotten a new set of visions. This time, it looks like it was from Ikemoto because he set it to where prescience would activate for him more frequently. So look at it like this, instead of it activating every 6 to 7 days like it normally did, let's say it might activate every 3 to 4 days. It could even be more frequent than that, but to be safe, I'll just use that example. To put it bluntly, Ikemoto could make it so he never gets these visions again, or he can make it so he gets them every 10 minutes. That sounds like torture, but he's just that kind of scientist. He really can do a lot of things, and now I'm seeing that. This man is actually dangerous. To just learn about a power like this and instantly be able to tweak it so it's even better is quite impressive. And if he could do that, then who knows what else he's capable of doing, you know? But anyway, now we look at the visions that Koji has gotten from his most recent update, and we see there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. But the most prominent vision is the one with Borushiki in it. It's obvious this is what Ikemoto wanted us to focus on because of how much Koji focused on it. It even has its own panel on the page, and you can tell it's Momoshiki in control because of Boruto's eye being closed. But yet, Momoshiki's eye is open. That's how it always was. When Boruto was using the karma and only his left eye was open, then we knew Boruto was still in control of his body. But when both of his eyes are open and the Byakugan appears, that means he's still in control of his body. However, he's fully in tune with Momoshiki's power. And in this scene, Boruto's left eye is closed, while the other is open, and he also manifested a horn again. So it looks like pretty soon, Momoshiki is going to be taking over Boruto's body. But for what reason? Well, according to these visions, it looks like we might get our answer. But since I probably won't make a separate video going over all of this again, let's just look at all of these visions and see what we can find out about the future of Tuple Vortex. So we got 2 pages worth of information, and most of this tells us what we can expect going forward. But at the same time, there could be some different timelines the story could bring us towards that causes some of these futures not to happen. So not everything you see here is cemented. It's all just possibilities now. That's all it is. Nothing is set in stone until it happens. Meaning, if they don't like a specific future, they can always change it before it happens. So looking here, some of these visions already happened, like the ones with Sarada and Code. Code kidnapped Sarada, forcefully dragged her into the claw marks, like we already know this happened. And this is mainly how Koji found out that the plan was going to fail. Look at this right here. It literally showed him Code finding the metal pins that were affiliated with Boruto's chakra. There's also some very interesting visions of the Shinju, a few of Hidari and Jura. And from the looks of this one, he's holding a wine glass, so it's apparent that he's doing something or possibly just going through some dialogue. And from the next page, it seems that he's also talking with Shikamaru. I don't necessarily think this is the same scene because it looks like from the other scene he's drinking something completely different than this one. So maybe they're having a chat and drinking tea, which is crazy because why is Shikamaru sitting down and having some tea with Jura? And what could they be talking about? Now actually, now thinking about it, Shikamaru has no choice in the matter at all. He's literally stuck there while Jura tells him what he needs to tell him. And besides, Shikamaru knows he needs to keep him satisfied or else that's it for Konoha. He himself said that the #1 priority is to treat Jura like a Konoha citizen. Let him into the bookstores, serve him treats, etc. So this would fit right into that category. So from the look of these visions here, it doesn't really give me the feel that Jura is directly responsible for Momoshiki taking over Boruto's body. But even though we don't directly see it, there is still a way that could be the case, and we all know how. I went over it a while ago, probably during the Mamushi arc, that Momoshiki could be getting impatient with Boruto. Momoshiki could feel that he's more qualified to battle Jura than Boruto himself. The deal they made with each other back in chapter 25 signifies that. Momoshiki is waiting for Boruto to defeat Jura using the power of the karma. So the faster they beat Jura, the faster Momoshiki can achieve his goal of fully taking over Boruto's body. So this is very important to him. I mean, I always knew that Momoshiki would want a shot at taking down Jura anyway. It makes sense. Even if he loses, it's the perfect opportunity to gauge his strength to see how much of a chance they have in taking him down. So whether that's now or later, Momoshiki versus Jura was always gonna happen because of the stakes and the new added value Momoshiki has towards Jura. So the situation could go as followed. Maybe Boruto does eventually invade the Shinju's base. I mean, to save Sarada, he would do anything. He was always gonna go rescue her. But Boruto doesn't know what's gonna happen when he gets there. To be honest, he's running into a trap. The trap that Code set for him. This is all to lure Boruto into that trap so Jura can eliminate him. So Boruto eventually finds a way into this dimension, and there he meets Jura and Hidari. And them working together, they obliterate Boruto. Even with the power of the karma, he stands no match for the both of them. So just like in the fight versus Ishiki, Boruto is outclassed. He's knocked unconscious in an effort to try and save Sarada. And the one thing we learned throughout the series, once Boruto was knocked unconscious by the enemy and about to die, Momoshiki will always bail him out, with the one exception being that time when Jura was about to kill Boruto, but we know that was before their deal. So Momoshiki actually wanted Boruto to die right here, so his soul would finally be free. But now it's different. Momoshiki actually has a goal to work towards, and he has a clear path into getting Boruto's body. So he's extra motivated, and now once again, he sees Boruto as his precious vessel. So Boruto making that deal with Momoshiki directly caused this future here to happen. It doesn't matter if he's fighting Jura, or if it's Kawaki or someone else. The fact that Boruto gave Momoshiki a second chance at life directly caused this scene you see here. Point blank period. So Momoshiki is extremely protective over Boruto again. And he knows that Boruto's enemies are near. Jura, Hidari, Code, even Kawaki. All threats to Boruto. So now, they're threats to Momoshiki. So there could have been a situation where Hidari and Jura were about to finish off Boruto for good. But at a moment's notice, Momoshiki emerged and saved him from that fate. It's a very likely future, but it's a future that Koji's vision doesn't show us directly. But right before Boruto left, Koji said something to him. He told him in a very stern and serious monotone that he should not go to Sarada. Now, why would he tell Boruto not to go? I'm confused. If there's a chance he could save her before the plan failed, why would he tell him to hold out? He even looked like he was about to say something before he left too, but we never got to see what it was. So maybe what Koji was gonna say to Boruto directly correlated to Momoshiki taking over Boruto's body. And maybe, just maybe, that's why he didn't want him to take action yet. So that's an even stronger argument to claim that this future was created because of Boruto finding his way to the Ten Tails dimension and trying to save Sarada alone. But as exciting as it sounds, there's also another future that's weighing on my mind based from these visions. And it's one that I think has an even higher chance of happening than the one I just mentioned. So looking at this page again, we now see Kawaki, and compared to Jura, he actually looks like he's fighting against someone. So I can confidently say that this might have been from a scene that featured Boruto versus Kawaki. Now you might be thinking, why is Momoshiki and Kawaki fighting again? Where is this future stemming from? And I have a few answers to that question. So as we all know, Momoshiki and Kawaki has already had a few battles, that which Kawaki has always come out on top. Mostly because he gets Boruto to wake up and then boom, the fight is over. But this time, it could be a little bit more interesting, because Momoshiki outright said he was going to fight Kawaki once he takes over Boruto's body. And rightfully so. I mean, he knows that Kawaki hates the Otsutsuki, so regardless, Kawaki is coming after him, and he needs to be ready. So they both already have history and an unavoidable fight coming up soon. Now I want to ask, could this be that fight? Could this scene here take place in the future when the Shinju are taken care of and Boruto finally gives up his body to Momoshiki? Is it possible? Well, yes, it is possible, but would Ikemoto show us something so far into the future so soon? I don't know. And because that fight is so far off into the future, or at least I think it is, that got me thinking that this fight between Borushiki and Kawaki could be happening a bit sooner than we all think. So this fight could have a different context. It could be Kawaki trying to stop Momoshiki from rampaging. Maybe Kawaki goes along with Boruto to save Sarada, and then something happens that causes Momoshiki to emerge. And the worst part about it is that Boruto doesn't even have to be knocked unconscious for Momoshiki to take over his body, because Boruto is freely going to use the karma now. By him using the karma and feeling like he can use it freely, that gives Momoshiki the window to take over his body whenever he pleases now. So that's the scary part. It could happen at any time and place, as long as Boruto is actively using the karma. So that leads me to believe that Boruto might have already been fighting by the time Momoshiki took over his body. But who could he have been fighting? Probably not Kawaki. They have a deal to cease all beef until the Shinju are defeated. So unless this scene was from the future where Boruto and Kawaki already defeated Jura, it seems like Momoshiki hijacked Boruto's body when he was already fighting. And I think it had to be the Shinju for it to really make sense. So there's two possibilities from this scene with Borushiki. It happened during this upcoming arc, when Boruto invades the Shinju's base to save Sarada. And if Kawaki is there, that explains why he might have been in his Karma V2 state as well, to combat Momoshiki and potentially save Boruto. Or the scene could be in the future when Boruto and Kawaki finish fighting against the Shinju and Momoshiki completely takes over Boruto's body. Or wait a minute, what are the chances that Momoshiki and Kawaki actually fight together versus Jura and Hidari? They both have their reasons to get rid of the Shinju, so I wouldn't write it off as a 0% chance of happening quite yet. They all have completely different context, but in terms of the likelihood, they all remain high, percentage-wise. So now I want to ask you, what do you think is going to happen? Where do you think this scene is from? The first possibility or the second? Which is more likely? Let me know all that info in the comment section down below, as well as the context of the situation. Like, what do you think happened to Boruto that caused Momoshiki to finally emerge? But without further ado, I think that will conclude the video for today. So as always, if you all enjoyed the video and don't mind seeing more like this in the near future, why don't you go ahead and like the video, also comment, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you know whenever I upload or go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later, and I'm out. Peace.